Welcome to the Real Chat Podcast,
where we talk business, lifestyle, and mindset.
For the modern entrepreneur.
I'm Baxter Colburn.
I'm Allison Elise.
I'm Mandi Wilkie. Let's chat. I never heard about the bingo card until I heard it like 4 times, heard it twice on the podcast when we had guests about the 2025 bingo card. And I'm like, what is this? What is this?
It's a phrase or it's a trend, right? Like or when you do something
goals,
unexpected, right? You're like, oh, that wasn't on the bingo card this year.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did see that. Yeah. And now I'm seeing the one where I met my younger self for coffee.
That one, I read somebody's yesterday and I was like, oh.
But then I also see the funny ones where it's like, and I related with the one, it was like, yesterday I met myself, I was going to meet my younger self for coffee, but then we both canceled.
Because we didn't put it in the calendar. I saw that. We didn't put it in our Google Calendar. Yep.
Me. That's me for sure.
No one texted me to remind me about the meetings.
So goals 2024, 2025 and what will we tell our younger selves? That's a topic that we could probably talk hours on.
That. We could, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I mean, it depends on, I guess, how you want to jump into it.
Well, welcome back to the Real Chat Podcast. Yeah. We're kind of sitting around the table here talking about what would people want to hear about today, and kind of summarized it into 2024 goals, 2025 goals. Do we have them? Did we hit them? Mm-hmm. Will we do them again? Mm-hmm. And maybe what we've learned along the way about goal setting, and to wrap it up quickly, more so really. What did you do really well in your business this year, Baxter, Allie, Mandi, and what could you improve on, and what are you hoping for 2025?
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good way to kind of jump into it. I mean, for me, I guess 2024 was a big year because that was the first year in my now 4 years of business that I really, really went after it. I was still working a full-time job congruently with what I was doing in my business, but I also scaled back from 5 days a week to 4 days a week. And then towards the end, got down to 3 days a week and just really started to say, okay, Mondays and Tuesdays, how much can I really grind through in those 2 days, as well as a few nights and weekends, right? Or the occasional day off here and there. But I just learned by the end of the year, by the time October 1st hit and I officially was full-time in my business, I was like, I can do this, right? Mm-hmm. Like that was such a crazy reality to me going into it, because I had a conversation this morning with somebody like 4 years ago, this was never the plan. I was going to do videos, and I've talked about this, right? I was going to do videos for the Green Bay Glory for $50 a video just for fun, right? I was trying to make money because I was getting divorced and needed some extra money here and there, and that was great. And to be where I'm at now is wild to me. It still is. And I'm so grateful for everything that I get to do. But that was just a great reassurance at the end of the year, especially going full time, because I told Rachel, I bet on myself, and I was like, I can do this, but I only can do this if I know you're on board with me too, right? Like otherwise I'm like, if now is not the time, please just say that, and I will get another full-time job and still do the business part-time, and it'll be great secondary income for our family, which I'm happy to do. But I really, really think I can do this, and I just need to know that you're on board, right? So that was a huge blessing to have that. But it felt so good running to the end of 2024, beating the goals that I had set for myself, and then, realizing like, wow, like, okay, there's something here. People trust me. I learned a lot from clients that I wanted to work with that I didn't want to work with, and say, okay, 2025 is going to be even bigger and even better, right? And even it's almost the end of February for this recording, but like even through the first 2 months of the year, I've already been like, oh, like what I thought in December is not what I'm here in February anymore, just because it's just funny how things change as you go along with the right clients, the right opportunities. And it's like, okay, things have shifted a little bit more for me, but I'm still really grateful for what I get to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it was a big jump for you, but I think one of the key things that you just said, and something that I've not always been good at, is saying, I'm going to bet on me. And correct. I think I don't often say it out loud, but I know in my head that if I bet on me, the odds are going to be pretty good because of the way I'm wired. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs have to have that. Yeah. Whether it's someone telling you can't do something and that's what fuels your fire, or whether it's knowing that you can do it. There's something that most entrepreneurs have been through in their life that make them know that this is something they will make work.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whatever they decide to do, they'll make it work. Yeah. Except for maybe you, Allie. You were too young to know any better. You just, no.
Not that you didn't go through anything, though.
Go through the waves.
Right?
Yeah. Every year is different for me. I feel like I bring a little bit more of a personal element to this episode, because my whole life has been goals. I feel like I'm a very goal-centered individual. I always am looking for the next thing. I'm always looking for something bigger. I'm always looking to add more to my plate. I'm always looking for ways that I can make income or multiple streams of income or whatever that looks like. But when it comes down to the personal element of my life, 2024 was not great. And 2025 is already looking a lot better. So
That's great.
I got consumed by a lot of things, outside noise. Every client I've ever worked with in photography has been absolutely amazing. And they fueled me through one of the toughest personal years. 2024 was hard. I still had goals, but my goal looked a lot different. I didn't want to race. I didn't want to make all the money. I just wanted to scale back. I'm finding that this year, like, for me, less is more. Less is going to be more for me in this year of kind of shifting, slowing down a little bit more and being more intentional with the time that I'm spending, but also like shifting to a different avenue in 2025 with one of my goals is like everybody that knows me and everyone that has ever met me knows that I absolutely adore style, personal style.
And you're so
you look
good at it.
Yeah.
I love
so
clothes.
good at it.
And I think back to my childhood, and I was obsessed with my grandma's shoes and obsessed with playing dress up. And now I'm raising a little boy that loves to play dress up. And he will watch style reels with me and comment on someone's dress or
I love that.
whatever. He's so interested in that stuff. And that is my passion. When I was in college, my goal was to be a fashion photographer on runway, New York Fashion Week.
Wow.
That's my dream.
That's amazing.
My dream is to attend New York Fashion Week. And it was always to be a photographer for New York Fashion Week. But oh my gosh, to attend New York Fashion Week as a content creator that brings education to people on how to build their own personal style and wardrobe and to really feel good in their clothes is like, I can't stop thinking about it.
So exciting.
It's all I think about all the time.
That.
So 2025 is kind of like that goal for me is like shift a little bit into really showing up as authentic Allie and like being who I am, like through and through and
unapologetically.
But just like also taking it a step further and like really creating a community where people feel like they can connect with that because so I'm educating myself right now and reading a book, and one of the titles is that getting dressed in the morning should be one of the easiest decisions of your day.
Yeah. I've
And
heard
for
that.
2023, 2024, getting dressed is one of the hardest things for me. And I'm realizing very quickly that it's because I have things in my closet that don't
Serve you.
fucking matter.
We're allowed
I
one
said
swear.
it.
We're allowed one swear.
I
one
had to
episode.
say it.
Yes.
It's been a while. And so that's been really fueling to me is like,
Yeah.
I want to intentionally like figure this out on like a emotional basis for people. I feel like I could help people with that.
I 100%
And-
know that you could.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I
you're
want-
so talented at what that looks like and what
Yeah.
goes into all of that.
I want to
And by
help
the way, with the
people.
photography background that
goes
you have,
hand in
I'm like,
hand.
how do her outfit selfies in the mirror look like that? Where does she
Right.
hold the phone? How does
Right.
she
What are your
stand?
settings?
What are your settings? What's your f-stop? But taking
Did
the,
I create the mirror selfie?
I
I think you
did.
might have.
In Green Bay?
for sure.
100% did.
But I
The
think
vault mirror is iconic.
The vault
Right?
mirror.
But I think for sure, taking the talents that you already have that come naturally and that you've learned as an entrepreneur
yeah.
and blending them with something you're so passionate about.
Yeah.
This is what I say to people all the time. When it doesn't feel like work, wow.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
You've nailed it,
Yeah.
right? When you get to
Yeah.
wake up every day excited about what you do. And I know you have a passion for helping others. And I know just from knowing you, even on a more intimate level, the last few years, our style reflects how we're feeling,
Yeah.
right? When we feel good about ourselves, you can tell when a woman, not that you can't with men, but when a woman feels good about herself.
Absolutely.
I can sit in Starbucks and
Yeah, it
watch and be
radiates.
like, she's on,
Yep.
she's on target.
There's that
with
little extra spring, right?
She's
Like,
got it.
it's-
And then I will
Yep.
run up to her and I will say, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
you look good today." And people
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, you probably don't need to do that. I'm like, yes, I do. I need to notice
Yep.
that woman that put in that effort this morning to
Yeah.
clearly she's feeling good about herself.
And it's even something like everybody has to get dressed every day.
It's true.
All do.
So,
No
like,
nakedness
for,
here.
For me, I think I'm pretty transparent on my social media, and I've always been this way. Since having Wesley, I struggled really bad with postpartum depression. It kind of just transitioned into more of just like full on depression for me.
Some struggle with body and self-image.
Oh, and 2024, I was full on like, I was depressed, and I'm in the battling stage of fighting what depression is for me, because it is personal. Everybody's depression looks different. You associate depression with laying in a bed and covering a pillow over your face. And nope, depressed people wake up, go to work, show up,
They're
parents,
functioning humans.
They're functioning humans.
Yeah.
I've never really had mental health issues until I became a mom the second time. And so this connects because I genuinely feel like 2024, I completely lost sight of who I was. I was in the shadow. I was in survival mode. And I was like kind of blaming all the things around me for it. I was struggling financially or whatever that looks like. You wouldn't know because I'm always buying clothes, but
why she's struggling financially? No.
why I'm struggling financially, which is why I'm also having a closet sale at the Vault in March.
Saw that
you guys can come buy all my clothes so I can start over. And it's not, this episode doesn't have to be about me, but when it comes to like the why behind that and why that has become kind of my core goal of 2025 is to really scale my love for style is clothes make my brain feel better. And I find myself through my style. And I did it when I had Addie almost 11 years ago. I lost some weight. You don't have to lose weight to fall in love with your style. You don't have to lose weight or change your body to wear clothes that fit you or wear clothes that flatter you. But it's finding those clothes. It's having the help to really understand, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to put your clothes on. You're supposed to be comfortable in what you're wearing so that you can go out and do the thing that you're meant to do, right? That's the thing. It's like, yeah, it might be more simple for men. There might be a little bit more thought for women, not necessarily.
No.
Because how you carry yourself when you're showing up to a shoot for a really high paying client, you do want to present yourself a certain way. There's a certain thing, but when you are going to your closet and you're finding something that always works and always fits, there's heart behind that. And for me, style heals my brain. So anyway, that's my little...
Well, I love that. And to comment on it too, I think there's a balance in style matching who you are and your personality, and people have a hard time with it. I had someone recently tell me that, they're like, you run a pretty successful business. You need to elevate your style. And I was like, is that a compliment or is that a dig? Like, I don't know, but I think
elevate your style. How? I would have
have
followed up with that question.
At the end of the day, we have to ourselves decide what we want our style to be. And some people have struggled with that. Like, I don't always know. And I started my career in an industry where I needed to downgrade because I was meeting with moms that had little kids and I was showing up in a 3-piece business suit and people were like, who's this chick?
Yeah, you're not relatable at that point.
Yeah, I was unrelatable. I needed to be able to have a kid puke on me and be okay with it. So when I started dressing like the moms in the room, I was received better. And I still feel that way in my position now. I'm not going to go meet with a house builder on a job site in heels. Right?
Oh, right.
But I think some people just don't naturally have it. And that's where that coaching comes in, right? That style expert or what colors look good on you or what are people drawn to or what is,
I even think just style in general, it's personal. Everyone feels different about it. Everyone feels like not every person in the world wants a closet that looks like mine. Like, it's just different. Everybody feels differently about colors and textures and all the things. And that just totally intrigues me. I would literally, I want that to be my life.
I love that. And
remind
me, did you go to school for psychology?
I sure did.
At one point.
But I'm a college dropout.
Hence, so are a lot of people. But hey,
calling myself out there.
Yeah.
But you
didn't know, now you know.
There is a psychology to the clothes that we wear.
100%.
There is a
100%.
yes. And so now maybe there's part of you that's taking that college dropout and applying some of those things that you were really interested in at one time.
I could just like, I don't know. I think about it all day long.
You could start a blog or a podcast on it.
Yeah, should I maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Speaking it in 2025.
Yeah, that's probably like the biggest goal for me is to really just wake up in the morning and, being like a content creator is such a weird, it's like a gray area, right? Because technically we're all content creators.
It's true.
You're a content creator. You're a content creator. I'm a content creator. Anybody that runs a business on social media is a content creator because you are having to navigate advertising for yourself unless you pay or hire somebody to do that for you. And when you're doing something that you're truly passionate about, it's not going to be this huge to do. It's not going to be this like daunting task.
No, it's going to be fun. You're going to be excited to wake up and do
fun.
it every day.
And I will be completely honest. I wake up very excited for my sessions that I do for photography. Anybody that pays me to take photos for them, I don't take that lightly. That is a huge privilege for me to walk into someone's home.
You're documenting their life.
Yeah.
Yes, that is my favorite type of photography is at-home sessions. I think that's pretty clear on like my social media and stuff. It's my favorite type. But I can very easily in 2025 merge both of my passions together. And so that's just kind of like the biggest goal right now is to be in that space where I can really, I don't know, make that happen.
I love that.
I'm the complete opposite. I didn't set any goals this year. And that was on purpose, truthfully. So I set a lot of goals last year and hit pretty much every single one of them. And I sat down at the beginning, at end of December, beginning of January, and I was like, all right, I'm going to write my goals for the year. I had a general idea in my head what I wanted to do. And every time I sat down to write them, I couldn't, and realized that I was judging my success and my happiness based off of words on a page. And realized that that's how I was tying my value. That's how I was tying my happiness, tying my success, was whether or not I hit any of those goals that I had written down. And that was maybe just more of a mental struggle as far as last year being like I had my goal was to make $100,000 last year, and I was pushing all year for that and a couple other things as well. But once I got that, I was kind of like, oh, okay, now what, right? Like, and then I've done a lot of professional development and personal development of like, okay, what the things that we think about and our thoughts, right, can really dictate who we are as a person, right? So having that thought of like, I don't want to always judge my success and my value based off of a number, right? So I'm like, I have enough money every month to pay my mortgage. I have enough to pay my bills. My family lives a nice life and my business does well. Great. Okay. Like, so why does it matter if I make $100,000 or $1 million, right? Like, my lifestyle and what my family does is always taken care of, thank the Lord, and I always do my best to serve my clients at a high level, right? And so I purposely, or I guess unintentionally, didn't write any goals down because I'm like, I have ideas of what I want to do, but I've learned in the 4 years of my business that my plan is never where God takes me. So I have always gone a completely different direction or pivoted in a direction I had no idea that was where I was going to go, right? So I've talked about it before. Vacation rentals is a huge piece of my business, and it has now become probably half to 3/4 of my business now, unintentionally. That was never the goal at all. And last year was great. This year's going to be even bigger because of all of that, which is amazing. So you bless and release those clients that don't fit, and you start saying no to the branding shoot here and there, or the real estate house, or some of those things that maybe were lower paying and more stress, and you say, okay, how can I start saving my time and my energy for the big things, right? Or the things that bring me more joy or excitement to get out of bed in the morning, right? So that's been an interesting piece for me so far. And
to like piggyback off that, the goals that you're setting necessarily that you would have set for January of this year, you very likely would have already pivoted from that. So why set this when you can say God's going to lead me?
Correct.
And he's leading me clearly.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And I'm going to follow.
Correct.
And you release even that, your own intention, and you follow where it's already led you.
Correct.
And you roll with that, because now you don't have this piece of paper sitting on your kitchen table every single day that's like reminding you that didn't actually happen.
Correct.
But it maybe led you to something bigger. It's like that more like head in the clouds mentality of entrepreneurship. Like, tomorrow's a new day. Where's it going to take me? That's like been my whole life.
Right. And it's not to say I'm not disciplined, right? It's not to say that I don't care, right? I could see the argument of like, oh, he's lazy, or he's not driven. It's like, no, it's not. If you've met me, you know that's not true.
Correct.
But that's how I've found for my mental sanity how I perform the best, right? And I find like I've tried every journal, everything that you can do, right, to track yourself and be motivated, listen to the books and read the book. And I'm just like, okay, but what about Baxter? Like, what does Baxter want? And how can Baxter perform at a high level that makes me happy, that makes my family happy, that makes my clients happy? Yeah. And finding that happiness now has been a huge blessing.
I love that.
It's only 2 months in, but I'm like, okay, like this year is going to be revolutionary And I've had people go out of their way to say, your trajectory is insane. And I was like, what is that? Like, what do you mean? They're like, where you're going is going to be incredible. And I'm like, how do you, and we're in it, right? In our daily business, you're like, I'm just
We're surviving.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just trying to put food on the table. And they're like, no. Like as an outsider watching, they're like, you're going to do incredible stuff. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Thank you. Like, that's amazing.
And I think like all of your work is great.
Thank you.
But your work on vacation rentals shines. The photos you just posted, where you were yesterday, like
the fire pit, the snow,
I mean,
the cute girls
honestly,
in
that's
the little winter outfits.
You thrive in that.
Yeah.
That you can tell through your work. That's what you want to be doing.
100%.
So, I mean, and that's exactly how it is.
That brings me so much joy. Yeah.
I relate to that with going into people's homes and taking pictures of their families. Your work just kind of like fits and it just flows and it translates to the person that's looking at it, and you can say, oh yeah, that is a good image, or that's a really awesome video, or whatever. I know you personally, but from just a scrolling perspective, when I see those vacation rental images and videos pop up, I'm like, that's definitely the heart behind Colburn Creative. Personally, I can even if I didn't know you personally, I would be able to say that.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that I think is the subtle goal right behind it, of like, you want to promote. I had this conversation with my social media partner the other day, and I was like, I really want to push that more. I'm like, but should I show everything still that I do? And she was like, I think there's still a lot of value in you showing all the areas that you service, because she's like, who's to say you can't find a great client in whatever, in XYZ industry, right? She's like, that you shouldn't pigeonhole
yourself. Don't put yourself in a box.
Into one. And I've said that on the show many times. I will not pick one genre, one niche. Like, I like working with good people, and I will shoot you in a potato field or a vacation rental or a chiropractor's office. I don't care. I just want to work with good people, right? So that I think goes such a long way.
Totally.
Helps with happiness too.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. What about you? Your big ass calendar you threw away.
In the interest of time. I mean, yes, I threw it away because the year was over.
Right. But you didn't get a new one though.
Not a big ass calendar. Definitely
takes up too much wall space.
We redecorated the office and just didn't quite go with the decor anymore. But I definitely have some business goals, pretty aggressive goals at that. But one of my I think these are two things that I want to share because they don't have anything to do with business. And I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we get so focused on our business, we forget about other things. So for us, we've been displaced from the church for probably the last year and a half, and it's really starting to weigh heavy on us. So we made the decision that in 2025, on a Sunday, if we are in Green Bay, we are going to a church. And we've been to different churches every week. And until we find where we feel like we can fit, that's what so that was a goal outside of the business that that we're already feeling better about. And doesn't mean we love the experience when we're there. Yeah. But we love the fact that we're trying, right? That we're moving the needle forward 100%. And we're being intentional. So that was one. And then number two, and I had someone say, well, do you think you're not already this? And so it was interesting because I had someone challenge me, but I was challenged at our last conference by a fellow area director to be a better community leader. The question was asked from the stage, as area directors, do we see ourselves as a community leader? And I kind of stepped back a little bit and I was like, I'm a connector.
You are.
But am I a leader? And how can I lead better? And the one thing that I decided that I could do better was be a better voice and advocate for local nonprofits in our community.
Yes, yep.
There are so many, and there are so many that we know about, and then there's so many that we don't know about. So instead of picking one and going and giving them a monetary donation each month, I instead have opened up the magazine for the organization to be able to tell their story and use it as a platform to share with more people. So then I, in turn, can learn about it, but so can more people. And now that's more people advocating for those 501c3s. So I've opened it up, and I think I only have 3 months left in 2025 that aren't already grabbed and spoken for. And the first couple weeks of this year, all I've been doing, it feels like, is meeting with 501c3s. And I'm just drawn to, there's so many things that I didn't even know existed in this community that are helping so many people in need.
Yes.
So that was one of the things that I wanted for myself, to be a better community leader. And that was one way I said I could do it. I'm looking for more ways to do it because I think the balance is I don't have a lot of extra time and I don't have an endless pool of resources, right? So financially, so I have to pick and choose a little bit, but I can use the platform of the magazine to educate, and I can give the pages that do have a value, but of course I can do that a little differently. So
absolutely,
that's my personal two big ones.
Proud of you for doing that. That is a big deal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. So if you have a 501c3, I can't promise that I'll get you in the magazine in 2025, but reach out.
It's a good problem to have, though.
Reach out and share it with me, because I don't plan on closing the magazine anytime soon. So I got lots of years to feature your 501c3.
Good.
That's so
And
cool.
that's no cost to those people. So
It's a huge
That's
blessing.
amazing.
yeah. So that was a real quick.
for you.
Of course, I have lots of business goals, and we can talk about those the next time.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
it was good just to catch up. We're getting back into the swing of things. We're looking forward to the guests that we have coming on in the future, and just kind of diving into a few more detailed things on each of us as well. So
I love it.
stay tuned. More to come from Mandi, Allie, and Baxter in 2025.
Yeah.
Look
Love
forward to it. Appreciate everybody listening. As always, as a reminder, the show is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find it every Monday. We love it when you leave us reviews. We love it when you tell a friend about it. We love
Share it.
hearing people share about it, or like, I listened to your podcast, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, thank you very much.
Maybe
right?
our goal for 2025 is to be everybody who listens share this at least with 3
And
to
leave a
5
review.
people.
Leave a
and
5-star review.
5-star review. That'd be amazing.
I would love, that would be incredible.
That's how we grow, right?
Absolutely.
Can't get what you don't ask for.
Exactly
Totally.
right.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Appreciate you listening as always, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.